Welcome back to the Knock-On Effect, the rugby show where we say what the pundits won't. So Leinster Rugby have officially confirmed the signing of Rieko Ioane, the third World Cup finalist signed in the last 12 months from overseas to bolster their already phenomenal squad. What does this mean for Leinster, the other Irish provinces, and the Irish national team? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's get stuck in. So look, as many of you know, I'm a loyal Munster fan. I'm not excited about this signing. Ioane is one of World Rugby's best wingers/centres. He's versatile, explosive, and will no doubt be a welcome addition to Leinster's already star-studded lineup. I wanted to make this video not just to shout the usual typical Leinster filthy rich and splashing the cash kind of attitude, but to take a deeper look at what these kind of signings mean. First, for Leinster, this is a brilliant signing. As I said, Ioane is a fantastic rugby player. We've seen with the likes of Jordy Barrett and RG Snyman this season, Leinster are playing a blinder in the transfer window. They've looked utterly formidable all year, and there is serious hope for a double in Europe and the URC. Strengthening their team from a position of power absolutely makes sense, and that's exactly what this signing does. Now, a lot of Munster, Connacht and Ulster fans will question, would these types of big player signings be financially feasible if the IRFU weren't covering 60 to 70% of the centrally contracted players' wages? I don't have an answer for that, but I just want to make a point that that is an issue with the IRFU. Don't hate on Leinster because the IRFU are doing a poor job of equitably dispersing support to the provinces. As a Munster fan, we've brought in plenty of top talent from the likes of Doug Howlett and Jean de Villiers to Alex Nankivell and Takir Abrams, while realistically not creating the same revenue that Leinster are currently doing. So as far as I'm considered, more power to them. If anything, we should be looking to replicate the same financial success, but that's a matter for another day. If I was a Leinster fan, I'd be thrilled with this signing. Ioane will bolster their squad, and once again next season, they will have a World Cup winner in their backline. That will make their chances of challenging in Europe and the URC next season likely again. As for the other three provinces, it makes things incredibly hard to challenge Leinster. They currently have 11 of the 14 central contracts up for grabs. This means that they have 11 high-wage talents being subsidised by the IRFU. How are the other three provinces supposed to make big money signings while being expected to cover the bill of their entire squad without IRFU support? On the flip side, ignore this signing for a minute and look past it as to how it can benefit us. Regardless of whether Ioane signs or not, Leinster are currently the best Irish province. Few dispute that. They have a conveyor belt of talent coming out of their academy. We've already seen with the likes of Joey Carberry, Tadhg Byrne, Ben Murphy and Hugh Gavin, to name just a few, all leave for new pastures as a result of not getting enough minutes at Leinster. As much as I hate the idea that we don't have the same number of talent being produced in the other three provinces, something that I think the IRFU absolutely has to do a better job with, by the way, but this means that more players will look to leave. Munster have just seen Michael Milne and Lee Barron join their ranks, and realistically, if Ioane coming in means the likes of Andrew or Jamie Osborne or Tommy or Jimmy O'Brien leave, I don't think any of Munster, Ulster or Connacht would turn them down. I don't see many Munster fans giving out about Tadhg Byrne being an ex-Leinster player. If Leinster don't want to nourish young talent and would rather bring in proven World Cup players, then fine. I'll happily welcome a few more Tadhg Byrnes through the doors. I look at players such as Max Deegan this season playing a blinder for Leinster. He spent the last 5 seasons with very limited minutes, largely warming the bench, and typically only called upon when the internationals are away or aren't selected to travel to South Africa. Leinster are becoming the Real Madrid of rugby, complete and utter galacticos. It's a matter of personal preference for young lads coming up. Which would you rather be? Another number at Leinster, lucky to get a handful of minutes, or a crucial player for another province or team? As for how this affects the Irish national team, I recently read an article about how signings are made or blocked at provincial level. It depends on the depth chart in not only the province but for Ireland. The province and the IRFU will assess whether there's enough depth at a national level and whether the province is in need of filling that spot overseas. If Ireland are sweet but the province require a spot to be filled, an overseas talent can be brought in. If Ireland lack depth coming through in an area, but a province are looking to sign in that area, then it will be blocked as it stops new talent from emerging that Ireland may need to rely upon. Ioane can play on the wing and at 13. I struggle to see how Leinster and Ireland have enough depth in those positions. We had to rely on Jamie Osborne playing relatively out of position on the wing against France due to just 2 injuries. Ringrose has been immense for Ireland at 13 over the years, but we don't really have a natural successor there. I think it also has to be pointed out that the likes of Ioane, Jordy Barrett and RG Snyman will undoubtedly be gaining an insight into the minds of a lot of the Irish squad and will be bringing their newfound knowledge back to their own national teams. How this signing has been sanctioned by the IRFU is absolutely beyond me. It makes absolutely no sense for the Irish national team. Leinster fans, congratulations. This is a fantastic signing in the short term for ye. Munster fans, Connacht fans and Ulster fans, I don't think it's all bad, and realistically I wouldn't trade 3 World Cup winners if it meant I had to give up the atmosphere at Thomond or the notoriety of our travelling supporters. As for anyone who is an Irish rugby fan, this is an absolute travesty. If we want to become a team who can progress further than a World Cup quarter-finals, we must demand that the IRFU do a better job of looking after our homegrown talent. If you enjoyed the video, be sure and hit like, subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. And as always, cheers for watching, catch you at the next one.